soggy and windy day tomorrow. I'll help you plan around the rain coming up out there as well. Taking a look at our satellite and radar picture, we have very overcast skies, and on the radar, not a ton of moisture showing up, but as you step outside, maybe as you hit the roads, you might notice just a little bit of light rain here and there. Nothing that you need to bring the umbrella for, nothing too organized, but that is certainly going to change tomorrow. Want to get you a first alert to continued chances for kind of this misty, drizzly conditions as we move through the rest of our Monday evening, and by Tuesday morning, 6 a.m., widespread organized rain moving in from the west, and that's going to build through the area through the entire day tomorrow. Soggy, windy, and chilly day in store tomorrow. High of 50 expected. That is in the morning. We're going to start off at about 50 around 7 a.m. and temperatures fall from there thanks to a gusty northwest wind. We'll spend most of the day hovering right around the mid to upper 40s and dealing with rain throughout the entire day. So we're picking up our hour by hour forecast at 7 a.m. The rain is moving into the metro at this point, already soggy out across most of eastern Nebraska, and the showers and steadier rain will stick around through a good portion of our Tuesday. Best chances through about midday for the heaviest rain on the Nebraska side. That starts to push into western Iowa for the evening, but we likely hang on to at least some light shower potential, if not some steadier showers off and on through the rest of our Tuesday night, with some of that rain lingering into Wednesday morning. I'll get you a first alert to when the sunshine could finally break back through coming up. Phil? Ground on our moisture deficit with a pretty soggy summer, and now starting to fall back inches behind on moisture, and for the fall season about 2.5 inches behind. So that's really kind of taken its toll. We're running almost an inch behind for the month of October, but we do have a good round of rain in store tomorrow into Wednesday morning. So as it stands right now, we have that potential to make up our October deficit with the potential for about an inch of rain falling in the metro on the higher side. I think we're going to wind up between about a half an inch to an inch for many, with some steady showers through the day tomorrow and some even higher amounts possible into western Iowa. But getting you a first alert to some gusty winds that come along with this next system that's coming up with your 10-day power planner. Phil? Soggy day tomorrow, pretty cool day as well, of fall due to the wind. We'll start off relatively calm at about 7 a.m. and that's when we have our morning high of 50. That's going to be a morning high. Temperatures fall through the day. We'll have a gusty north to northwest wind building in as we get into the afternoon. That'll easily gust into the mid 30s, perhaps as high as 40 miles per hour at times. It strengthens a little bit overnight and into the early morning hours of Wednesday. We're still a little bit on the windy side out the door Wednesday morning with gusts near 40, and will be breezy by Wednesday afternoon with improvements by the evening. We'll still have a few lingering showers throughout the day on Wednesday. That's mainly during the early morning time frame. Not much sunshine for the afternoon, but we'll be warming up to a high of 51. By Thursday, this is probably one of our nicest days. A high of 57. We'll have a good amount of sunshine, some lighter winds, and by Friday, Halloween, bringing back some cloud cover, increasing clouds, a high of 56, and we'll be tracking some breezy conditions. So as the kids are heading out for trick-or-treating, it's not going to be incredibly cold for this time of the year, but a little chilly, so it wouldn't hurt to bring a jacket with the costume. 5 p.m. we'll be at 54, but once we lose that sunshine, we'll be dipping down into the 40s pretty quickly through the evening. That combined with the breeze, going to make for a cooler night. By Saturday, a high of 53 will be mostly cloudy, very slight risk of a passing shower, and we're back to the 60s briefly on Sunday. From there, settling into the upper 50s, heading into the start of next work week with a slight warm up in sight by the middle of next week. Can stay on top of the forecast by tomorrow. Even as you step outside tonight, we have the cloud cover out there and some pretty misty conditions under the clouds. Our satellite and radar picture showing just a little bit of light moisture out there. Nothing that you need the umbrella for tonight. It'll come in handy by tomorrow. The rest of this evening, more of the same, some light drizzle, some mistiness, but by Tuesday morning, our next round of organized showers and some steadier rain overall starts to build in from the west. That'll be pushing into the metro by the morning commute, and we have a very soggy first half of the day. The heaviest rain is most likely through about noon, but we'll continue with some on and off rounds of showers and even some steadier rain into the metro all the way through the evening, and some pretty heavy rain into into western Iowa through most of our Tuesday afternoon and evening. We'll have some rain that sticks around overnight and into early Wednesday morning before we finally see some clearing for the second half of the day. Be taking a closer look at gloomy and cool Tuesday on the way. We have rain throughout pretty much the entire day tomorrow and falling temperatures on top of that. So bring the rain gear and I would layer up as well. We start off at our warmest point, 50 degrees around 7 to 8 a.m. and then temperatures fall to the mid 40s around late morning. We try and recover for the afternoon, but we only warm back into the upper 40s. So our high temperature, that is going to be early in the day. And that is thanks to a strong northwest wind that builds in along with our rain chances. Those gusts pick up to the 30s to near 40s by the late afternoon and will stay pretty strong all the way through Wednesday morning. I'll get you a first alert to some more pleasant days in the forecast and what's in store for Halloween coming up. Erin.
All right, Emily, thanks.
The recent cool down, we have been relatively warm as of late compared to the average, and that trend overall, no sign of moving out. We have, as we look ahead to the start of November, a warmer than average forecast for a good portion of the country, including eastern Nebraska, 6 to 53. That falls as we head to November 9th. And as we look ahead to our morning lows, so far, no signs of the official first freeze out at Epley. To make it on this list of our latest first freezes, we have to make it to November 8th, and that record was set back in 1921. We're taking a closer look at how cold we get throughout the next 10 days coming up in just a little bit. Erin. Forecast as we head into Tuesday. First alert to rain chances pretty much from start to finish tomorrow. And we have the chance to pick up on some substantial rainfall totals with over an inch of rain potential in the metro, just over an inch possible on some of the higher end amounts. I would say for the metro, we likely fall between half an inch to an inch for most. We have a better chance of seeing up to an inch and a half tomorrow through the first half of Wednesday out over western Iowa, with totals becoming a little lighter as we move through eastern Nebraska, moving out to the west. It's going to be a cool day as well, 50 degrees for that high, and it's in the morning. So the afternoon, we're spending that in the 40s. We have some very gusty winds. We have showers that continue through the first half of Wednesday, along with breezy conditions, high of 51, and Thursday is likely the best day to get outdoors. We do have a pretty chilly start on the way, however, 34 for that morning low. That brings us back into that frost zone. So if you still have some plants out, you do want to keep that in mind. High of 57 though by the afternoon, and for Halloween, increasing clouds, a little breezy, and a high of 56. So not bad at all for this time of the year. Looking ahead to the weekend for the Husker game, high of 53 locally, and down in Lincoln, you can plan on temperatures right around 54 near kickoff. We'll be cooling through the game by the end of the game, 47, but overall not looking too bad with only the slightest chance for a passing shower during the day. We're back to the low 60s on Sunday and staying a little bit on the warmer side through most of next week, with highs in the upper 50s Monday and Tuesday and back to the 60s next Wednesday and Thursday. So tough day to make outdoor plans for. Tuesday is going to be soggy and windy. We'll take a closer look at the rain timing coming up. Plus to a soggy day tomorrow. We've had some off and on drizzle today. We're still dealing with a little bit of that out there tonight and overnight. As our cold front approaches, that's going to drive in our rain chance and bring in some changes for tomorrow. Not only will it be soggy, but thanks to that front, also windy and chillier through the day, with better weather thankfully on the way by Halloween. So let's go through the hour by hour forecast. As we move through the rest of our Monday nights, not going to notice any major changes. It's really Tuesday morning that brings in some noticeable differences. By 6 a.m., we have steady rain falling out across the western half of the viewing area and showers just starting to push into the metro. The rain chance will spread into western Iowa through the mid-morning hours, and during the first half of the day, that's when we have the most consistent, heaviest rain for the metro. As we move into the afternoon, it gets a little drier for spots like Norfolk, Columbus, and York, but we'll have some some periods of steadier rain that move back into the metro and certainly stay in western Iowa through most of the afternoon and even into the evening. By Tuesday evening, could have a few steadier showers that do roll back into the Nebraska side, out closer to Fremont, Wahoo, Lincoln, perhaps another shower or two around Norfolk. But overall, the better rain chances begin to pull east as we move deeper into our Tuesday night before returning by Wednesday morning. We'll have some early morning showers that break up pretty quickly right around that 7 to 8 a.m. mark. And as we get into the early afternoon, we may even see some peaks of sunshine, although most of the day Wednesday will be quite overcast. Now, as far as the rainfall is concerned, we're right on the edge of that 1-inch mark for the metro. So I think we'll see a mix of totals between about a ½ an inch to an inch on the higher side for the metro. We get a better chance for 1 inch to 1.5 inches totals over western Iowa and likely stay under a ½ an inch for rain for Columbus, Norfolk, and York through tomorrow and Wednesday morning. This is going to come along with a very cool forecast for Tuesday as well. We have falling temperatures through the day thanks to our cold front. We start off with our high at 50 degrees at 8 a.m. and then settle into the 40s from there. So I would say bring the rain gear, bring those warmer layers. With the wind, it's going to be feeling pretty chilly, and you'll notice those gusts really picking up by the late afternoon, as high as the 30s to even 40s, with some gusty conditions that hold on all the way into Wednesday morning before starting to wind down for the afternoon. Now, we still have some breezes around by the time we hit Friday, but for trick-or-treaters, it's an overall decent forecast for this time of the year. 56 for that afternoon high. By 5 p.m., 54, and it will be a swift cool down once we lose that sunshine. So I would say bring an extra jacket for the costumes if needed, but it's not looking like a terrible night to be outdoors. 57 Thursday, Friday, we're back to 56, and then a little cooler for the start of the weekend. A high of 53 and cloudy on Saturday. A warm forecast for most of next week. You can stay on top of the forecast by downloading our First Alert